Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Trine. Let's continue. We made it
Where are we?
through one level.
We are beneath the Astral Academy. No one has been here for decades.
Aha! My sword shall lead the way! Follow me!
I feel like the game should automatically swap you between the different characters when they're talking, or perhaps there should just be an inside the head of the people as they're talking to each other and it zoom in a little bit more. So like we're trapped inside one body, 3 people are, and each person has different abilities, which, okay. Alright, so what do we want to do? So it took us kind of quite a while to accomplish our goal previously. So I want to be fairly careful not to waste too much time here. And I would say there's just also some weirdness on the ability of the wizard to now if I'm calling up here and then I transform, yeah, there's really not enough time to switch around. So yeah, that's quite a lot of effort there. We now know that we can hit the back and we can see that there's probably a little bit less collectibles in this level, but maybe not by that much. So rushing probably is still beneficial. But also we would want to check and see if is this a door that opens later, or is that a door that I need to open now? Let's see. What you're gonna run into here, I feel, is kind of fairly quickly a scenario where a lot of the players are either going to get really good at platforming and they're going to rush through these levels, or you're just not going to have anything, or you're going to struggle throughout the whole game and then potentially rage quit. That was a one-way elevator. So good to know. And these guys crawl up on their own. Interesting. So. It feels like you should be able to push an object like this cube, for instance, and have it be an item that you would generically be able to pick up and lift. And I would kind of hope to see things like that in future versions of the game, is that they would effectively. Well, that was more work than it should have been. Alright. There's seemingly a decent amount of repeated or extra stuff here, and auto-locking. Now I have an amulet of mana gain. We've had 2 items now that sound like items that would work very nicely with our main character, but with our mage character, but the indication was that all collectibles are going to the thief. I'm sure the thief could find a decent way to get things going as far as selling items that they can't directly use. And see, that's kind of like a great example of there probably was a much more complicated solution to that, but it doesn't seem like it really matters. Instead, we are gonna now, I guess, have to figure out something here. We've got a shield. And I guess we are just... Like, I don't know what you could really do here. You can drop a box on him. Like, you basically need to have a whole section like this just so you can justify the warrior having a real play in the game. Otherwise, too much of this game is going to end up being thief-only gameplay with her whip-swinging Indiana Jones style potential movement. So you can seemingly only hit this guy from the head on too. Well, I guess maybe we could switch to her and then fire that way. So I need to desperately get over here to refill the guys. Alright, so... Interesting. It does checkpoint you back to half health, but this weapon is just staying there. I think I need to maybe pick this up and seems like that skeleton is just not gonna ever die. You found the strength of Titan's skill for the night. Raise the shield and activate the gravity shield to pick up an object. Okay. So now with the left click, you can throw this. Cool. Let's just try to avoid damaging ourselves too much here. So what was I really supposed to do here? Was I supposed to make a platform? Maybe? The thing here, of course, is just a little bit of trickery is all it takes to really reach the top of a lot of these platforms. And so I guess that really just boils down to whether or not you... Like, this game feels a little too simplistic. It feels almost like overly kid-friendly. kind of want to move all these boxes just to make sure that there isn't something I missed. Alright, so we'll do this the right way. Draw a box. And then the box fell off. Try that again. Yeah, I would oddly say we have a auto snap feature here that is decent for the swinging, because it pretty much always does seem to land you directly on some wooden platform you would think it would land you on. But it's pretty bad for drawing boxes. And I would assume that the reason for that is kind of fairly obvious, that they just don't have hard-coded places where you're supposed to have the boxes land. These skeletons can really manage to move out of the way. Interesting. The experience also floated to me, so I don't even really need to get down there. I kind of had forgotten all about his little ability. Let's see. How did that work again? Bring up a shield, and then you left click, and then toss it. Okay. But I don't know why you'd really want this ability. Frankly, it's kind of just the same ability as what the... I'm gonna have to be very careful here. Like... yeah, I'm probably not gonna survive that one. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Yeah, the ability to throw the boxes with the shield seems like just a redundant ability that the mage already had, which then introduces the idea that the remaining abilities that we unlock for the other characters may just be redundant abilities that other characters have, and then it just changes the game to the point where there might be, take your pick, one character that you really like to play as, and you wouldn't have to really do anything there as far as swapping, which that then ruins the whole concept of the game. So I don't know where the logic is in that. Right. Now we can kind of feel how swapping between skeletons that are firing arrows and the swinging sword skeletons might make a slight difference. Right. And we'll just have him jump over here and make a small square. Small square. I don't know if there's enough room here for a small square. Alright. Go that way, to go that way. Get collectibles. these swinging platforms probably don't mean too much. That's an interesting checkpoint there because let's see. I guess maybe the idea would be to have him make a small square, swap to this guy, pick this up, and see if we can toss it. Like, I'm having trouble with that idea, certainly. Let's see. Well, that's an awkward way to get ahead of forward with the story. But it definitely does feel like as soon as you lose your thief character, you lose a major factor, and there's really no recovering from it. This might be a case where they want you to pick up a bunch of these and take these guys on. That was scripted. This guy doesn't move the blocks very fast, so I could see an argument around being a bit faster for that. But yeah, once again, really no reason to use his shield ability. Clearly the right move here is to instead just do this and just carefully place the cubes. There's no wooden things here. You can definitely feel that it was right at this point they wanted you to not feel like you could do everything with the thief. And it's not like I'm getting on the entire piece of wood in the background. It's instead just me getting here. And then if I go that way, I'm holding down A. And so that's not working. So there's got to be something more. Grappling hook attaches to wooden statues. Good to know. But I don't see any wooden anything. So I've done this wrong, obviously. Am I supposed to put that on top of that? No. Am I supposed to perhaps just make a platform? Let's see. So what was the deal with all the cubes? I'm starting to wonder if there's maybe some more collectibles. And you really only have to miss one collectible and then you'd have to just select this level and come back to it later. What is this? Some kind of mine? Okay, they're dangerous spike balls. Good to know. So I guess the idea is that these are supposed to all be diabolical traps that we're running into. And I imagine I'm not supposed to be swinging around trying to see more of that. Sure doesn't feel like there's like a great way to knock these off into an area. They don't fly far enough. And you can't quite move far enough in the right direction to potentially swap between the shield guy and then shop and then fire with the thief and then swap back. Alright, so then probably this is the case where they want us to take this cube and place it here. Well, I'm gonna have a hard time getting that cube. That. Yeah. Can I grab this? No. There's like no rotation or anything to de-spikeify that, so. Best case scenario, I just walk myself into the spikes. Grubbling locust attaches only to wooden surfaces. Thanks. I know that. I feel like you're also in a situation here where you really are only going to ever have puzzles that interact with like 2 of the 3 people until maybe really late at the end of the game, and then we'll have a couple of puzzles that will actually equate to having to interact with 3 characters at the same time. Let's see. How can we get higher here? I guess we'll have to make a cube. Alright. Is that high enough? Just barely. Found an item mana vial. It's funny that that's animated. So we are missing like 2 XPs in this level, and this level feels like it has been half as long as the previous levels. Alright, let's see. We can use our moving ability to break that. Yes, we can. And I guess we'll probably want to use the movement ability somewhere here. Okay. So, we don't have a health checkpoint, so the game is getting slightly more difficult. So what we just want to do is probably put something here, and then if we make a square there, that pretty much balances it out. Fine. The wizard's weight not really equating for much. And then if we make a square here, we can then take this one and put it here. That won't do anything, but we could just make a square here, and that'll fade the square that we were sitting on. And then if we just jump up enough, we've now collected everything. And then it's just a matter of making another square here. And since it just kind of balances out, and since physics is always moving, you can just kind of jump to get enough height. Yeah. There are definitely some tricks in the platforming here that are more important than the actual abilities. And so I'd like to see over the entire Trine series, I'd like to see them improve the puzzles.
It has inscriptions all over it.
And kind of de-emphasize the platforming just a little bit. I'd also like to see it be a little bit brighter and more cartoony and a little bit more zoomed in. It's right now fairly easy to not be able to immediately recognize where your character is. And are we gonna fight a monster here? Or does it just let you move on to the next puzzle? Is this one of those games that just goes on forever? It could, certainly. That would make a lot of sense.
Artifacts began to emerge. There had once been 3 guardians, each with an artifact to protect. The Trine was an artifact of the soul and righteousness, and a catalyst for the powers of good that had quietly helped raise young, good-hearted wizards in the Astral Academy. The 2 remaining artifacts were mentioned only briefly. The second artifact that pertained to mind and power had been stored in the great castle in the middle of the kingdom.
Well, see, it's kind of weird to now lower the value of the Trine and say that there are 2 other objects, unless those objects are the Trine too.
It all makes sense now. Our souls are entwined in this artifact, and our physical beings are mere images of our soul.
I'm getting hungry from all this fighting.
Why don't you listen to me? This is exciting. We must hurry to the castle.
And this is the way. Dragon Graveyard. So instead of small bones, we go where the big ones rest. What will we do if they've come to life?
It's the fastest way to the castle, my darling. Trust me.
Just go and shoot things off on the side of the screen. I suppose if you did zoom in, you'd have a problem with the monsters kind of appearing and being problems. There's a level here where you could make some simple suggestions about having an infinitely connected world so that it wasn't split between so it isn't split between loads, particularly in this case when you have a game that is the enhanced version. It's probably, I guess, going to leave the tooltips open Alright, so what do we want? Allows 2 boxes to exist at the same time. Is that useful? Gives the knight 5% chance. Gives the knight a temporary speed boost. They can be directed towards enemies to knock them back. Works perfectly against shielded enemies. Well, there might be an argument here to do that because we haven't even seen any shielded enemies. Otherwise, there might be a decent argument to just wait on the upgrades, and we may find out that unlocking a later upgrade is much more useful. So I'm gonna go with that one though. Yeah. So now that he has a temporary speed boost, they can direct it towards enemies to knock them back. We'll have to see how that works. Let's see. Charge with the left trigger. I'm directly on top of the... Right, there's a bunch of fires here, but I don't think the fires actually hurt me. Right, so when I hold the shield and then left trigger, now that dashes. So you have to, if I want to throw this, I have to hold the shield and then click the left stick, pick it up. And yeah, we'll have to find another box to see how that's really going to play out. Seems like I'm increasingly taking more and more damage. Okay. How are we supposed to do this? Just push this box, I guess, as far in that direction as possible. There's a lot of things around here that can hurt me. Alright, let's see. If he's in the air, can he dash in the air? No. And I'm not high enough to get the grappling hook to work. So how far can I push a box like that? Oh, about that far. Alright. There was some platforms in the background there that I thought were in the foreground. Let's see if we can swing around. Alright. Just shot in the air. Alright, you know what? That certainly put a box in a weird place. Can move this direction, but I can't do much to fight the skeletons. That one just flew in wild directions. Alright, well, while we're using this guy, let's see if we can just knock that down. Where did the green energy go? Way back here. Apparently if something falls off the screen, it will naturally end up. Now if I've checkpointed here and I die, will I respawn? I mean, can I use these in any way? I guess not. I get the idea. I guess you can make the boxes stuck on the spikes. I guess you're supposed to have kind of like a Disney-like magical experience with the wizard, but he just really feels kind of out of place. This is going to be an awkward jump, but we got it. We found leggings. There's a lot of stuff here very reminiscent of what you would expect to see in a standard RPG experience. Which does almost make me wonder if a lot of the art and animation here at first glance may have been designed for just a standard RPG experience. Alright, so that straight up is just a pit. There probably needs to be either some toxic poison. Here we have some dragon eggs in the foreground, or something, flames, something on the bottom part of this to really show you whether or not you what is this? Nothing. Thought that might be something. Plank of skill for the wizard. Switch to this guy first. So I was wise definitely to get the shield bashing ability as I did, and we just got now the plank. Plank, the wizard can conjure a plank into the world. It is possible to vary the size of each plank when conjuring it. Conjuring drains a portion of the wizard's mana. Initially, only one plank can be conjured at a time. Okay. So how does this work? Draw a line and then release to conjure a plank. That didn't quite work the first time, but good enough. They're clearly going to be fairly consistent with the way this whole thing works. As far as archer skeletons are always going to be focused characters that are there to delay your progress. So you've got to pull this off. Probably just doing that. Probably means I just need to draw a horizontal plank. And it just doesn't seem like it's long enough. Ever. Seems to kind of be snapping in a weird way. That's probably good enough. There we go. Is there any other way out of here, though? No. So is this good enough to get to where I need to go? Maybe not. Like, they're not playing here. They've made it so I can't cheat it. Can I make that? Nope. The answer to that is no. So draw a plank, I guess, is the idea, and then get it to actually somehow coordinate with the guy in the way. There we go. That seemed more scripted than other elements. That they seem to very intentionally have given me just enough rope to strangle myself with. Alright, well, now this has become easier, though. You may still want to play as the thief, so you can wind around. How many? We have like 10 more XPs to collect. This would be nice if this was a health potion upgrade. Can we do anything with shielded skeletons? Yes, we can. We can just hit them a couple times. These guys don't move. Consistently enough that I can hit them. Well, I think I want to come over here. Power shot that one. Smash that one. Smash some more. Smash some more. Let's come back this way and see what we would have potentially missed. There is little collectibles over here. Once you collect a collectible, it's collected forever. I don't think there's anything more to get. I'm willing to risk it. Right, so. And we just need a fairly large swing this way to get up there. Now we have a bottle of poison. Here we have some more stuff. Hit that. Down this way. We have another collectible. I think in this case, the goal is not to just pull the usual shenanigans and instead use either something like this to knock it over, which it's not quite thin enough. So let's instead draw a line and just get a flat plank and then do that. That worked. Nothing under here. Now it's just a matter of getting back up to where we were. Which I guess means going back this way and then swinging back this way. Yeah, and that seems like the game is being fairly helpful to make sure you do actually make it. Alright. Darn it. You know, I'm probably making this more difficult than it should be. Aren't I? Yeah, I am. Let's just get up on this platform. Use this guy. Like, they're trying to make it so obvious. And I'm just not paying enough attention to say, oh yeah, this is not the thief section. This is clearly designed to be for the mage to show off his skills. How many more collectibles do we have? 6. So there's a decent amount of games still. I'm thinking what we'll end up doing is doing just 2 levels per episode, and there's some form of DLC or holiday bundle stuff also that are collectibles, although I don't know what those really are, because it's not like there's any visual settings or anything. That would change your outfits. If there was an outfit change ability, it would be probably in the back button menu. Just get up here. Right. And then well, that's not exactly what I meant to have happen, but I think that'll work. If I can just get up that high. Yeah, holding the A button does let you over edges. Then once again, we'll just draw a line over this. Get over here. I can't get the arrows to fly between them. I can randomly accidentally hit something else. Right. Whole bunch of collectibles just immediately collected, so we've got like 2 more skeletons to fight, and that's it. And you can't like glitch through the walls to shoot them, but you can apparently shoot through them. I'm a little surprised that you can you could do that. And at that point we've done everything, so this would just become a either simple level. I have to kind of question how many levels there actually are going to be. Alright, so we've got a cube, and we've got a thing, and we've got an annoying They really put that in the wrong place. Alright, so let's stand away from that. Let's stick that there. And then let's see if that wedges in some way. is that good enough to get us up to the top here? Can we manipulate it enough? If I like land on the very top of that, yes they can. Now that's an interesting puzzle because I have no idea how you really were supposed to solve that one. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense because you kind of need a ramp up, which means you kind of have to wedge at least this back thing to not spin. So we may more and more run into puzzles that just don't make any sense.
Our heroes carried on. The wizard delved deeper into the inscriptions about the Guardians. There had once been 3
I'm still not liking the narrator.
One for the soul and righteousness, one for the mind and power.
Obviously that would be the mage, and that would be the
These immortal objects had been used to balance all
knight.
good and evil in the world. When everything was in harmony, the artifacts had been given to the 3 guardians, who had kept them safe for centuries.
So fairly obviously these are the new guardians, whether they realize it or not.
That only allowed those with pure intents to come near. Eventually the guardians passed away.
The thief didn't have pure intents.
Remained.
Or maybe she did.
Still not find answers as to why they had been captured in the Trine, and how they had been able to go unharmed by the protective charms.
So like basically that they're saying that the Trine either was running out of power completely, and needed to just pick some new guardians and pick the best ones that could get closest to them, or this group of 3, this trio, are going to become the new guardians of this world, which would make sense, certainly. Well, I can see the number of achievements I've done so far is 6 out of 33, so at that rate, that indicates to me there's probably somewhere around 14, maybe a little less levels in Trine 1. So it may not be a super long game, and that certainly probably compounded with the issues of Trine 3 going 3D. I would be very surprised if it turns out that this actually isn't a super long game and it works out very nice. Would work out very nicely if that was the case. But then that just may get annoying too. We can see even in this next level that they've changed the visuals multiple times, and so they're going to have to reuse those assets if they're smart. But then they've also reused the physics and the puzzles a lot. The Trine definitely feels like a game that would have been better had it had the funding of something like Nintendo instead of just a small indie company. I think it's an indie company, I'm not sure, making it, because if you were going to make a puzzle game that required 3 people, a flatter 2D animation style probably would be better. Spending a couple extra years just making more puzzles, having it start off at least as like a cell phone game, would probably be smarter. Although sadly most cell phone games are really, really short anyways. But yeah, there's a lot of 3D modeling in this game that is now going to have to justify itself compared to the number of puzzles and the variety of puzzles. And so far we've seen a decent start, but not anything amazing. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.